Oh, goddamn. I guess I need to sit up for this, huh? Good
Whatever.
evening, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I said over on Twitter, the sink beat me, Jack. I did everything I could, and every time I would go to fix a part, I'd realize the part it's attached to was also fucked up. And finally get everything. We're like, okay, there's nothing else to replace. Everything's ready to go. Hook it up, turn on the water, and there's a fucking break in the weld on the pipes, and I can't weld.
Not with that attitude.
And me playing with fire that I don't know, what I'm doing with, probably a really, really bad idea. So got to get a plumber in there to fix this shit, and I'm disappointed in myself. But because I've been working under a sink for 3 days now, my back is really pissed off at me.
Yeah, well, that'll happen.
Muscles I forgot I had are reminding me they still exist, even if I don't use them anymore. But it's no big deal. It's kind of what goes with buying a new house. You got to find the stuff that needs fixed and get it fixed. But they'll be able to move in real soon, and everything will be all hunky dory.
Cool. We getting the ducking already. Oh, that's gonna suck. That's gonna piss him off.
Damn nerds.
Right. He's ducked out.
Oh, sorry. I just read what Helen said there, where she said braise, not weld. Don't be a nerd.
Whatever. I do what I want. If I want to weld shit, I will. Brazen, that sounds too fancy. That sounds like something I would do on a grill.
Right? You do that to some good meat.
Yeah.
No, and I do understand the difference. Or solder, yes, I know. But it's not something I've ever fucked with, and I don't. My dad was an actual plumber, and he did all of that shit. All these simple changes I can do, except for simple brazing. Get it right for the nerds. But yeah, it won't take too much, and I'm still proud of myself because that fucking thing was hard to get everything loose, and that I still have the strength to do some of it was I'm happy with myself. Plus, as I've been saying, Jack, I've been pushing myself more and more.
Yeah.
And I've been in pain because of it, but I am getting stronger, and I can feel myself getting stronger.
Faster, stronger.
Yeah, I'm being rebuilt. Thank you, Snubbers. Before the show, the protest came to my job, UIUC, but so far they've been more bark than bite. WCIA channel has a pro-Israel student get heckled on camera. Nice. And Retro, thank you for that gifted sub going out before the show. I appreciate it, my friend. All right. I guess that leads us to the big story of the day.
First, hello to anybody's name I missed. How you guys doing?
The Riot season is kicked off, Jack, and I am so happy.
I know. Oh my god, I was like biting at the bit to see the 2:00 deadline for Columbia, and then they didn't leave, and I was like, "Score! There's gonna be a fucking riot."
And it's still not to the point that I wanted at, Jack. I want my pepper balls. You know that.
Oh yeah, I know. Pepper balls to the balls.
Pepper balls to the nutsack is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, and I want more of it in my life.
I'm pretty sure that helps hippies' balls drop. It's like a scientific thing, like photosynthesis or osmosis. Pepper balls naturally help incompetent, unmasculine men have their balls drop.
Hang on. I got to deal with a moron.
So yeah, it's some of the riots are kicking off a little early. I saw there were a bunch of people trying to get into the so-called autonomous zone. I think it was at Columbia University. So they are trying to expand. They were picking up trash and loot to try and build barricades and stuff like that. And it's just as incompetent as you would expect from these dumb fucking idiots.
Will you talk for just a moment?
Sure. Hey, Demo Man. Yeah, Rod, if we find a good live streamer that's doing the Riot stuff, we will definitely pass it on. It's gotten a lot harder since the original Chaz because Antifa has learned to crack down on that stuff. Thanks, Assassin. Appreciate it, man. So unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is harder to find. So we got to search through YouTube and Twitch and various other platforms to try and find it. But we'll definitely pass along because that's just good entertainment, good wholesome entertainment to make me laugh at dum-dums.
It really is. And look, I hate rooting for the police. I really do. And if these kids would go in there, do their stupid little protest and go home at the end of the day, leave them alone. I never called for pepper balls with even with the Occupy Wall Street shit.
No, it's because they weren't bothering anyone, really. Yeah,
no, mostly people ignored them, which is they got mad about.
yeah, because it's like any other homeless encampment in New York. But they're so desperate for attention and to get controversy that they just allow bad things to happen. And they're really dumb people. So here we are.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think you're right that we're not going to get to watch the kind of riot footage we did in 2020. Yeah. Most of what we're going to be able to watch is going to be short clips on Twitter and maybe a little bit of longer form stuff that people throw on YouTube. I hope look, if you guys out there, you want to get famous and stuff, those live streamers were doing good numbers. And if you're near one of these things and you can get video of it, besides just for my entertainment, you can do really well for yourself. I'm just saying. Capitalism, baby.
If there's a way you could stream to Rumble, I think you'd have a better chance because then you could get donations too. True,
yeah. And streaming to Rumble's not that difficult. So yeah, stream that shit to Rumble for us. But anyway, this is the what is it? VCU out there in Virginia, and they decided. I'm going to play it while we talk. Just turn off the volume. They're pushing the cops back there, Jack. Look at them. I like their new shielding. Did you see that? They're using pallets as shields. Which I must admit is better than the wicker shields we saw in 2020.
Yeah, but not as wieldy. Like it takes two of these retards to move one pallet.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be very effective. The cops just have to back up a little bit and pull it down and then stand on it.
Yep.
And then you're boned. What are you going to do? You got nothing.
Oh, I know what they're going to do.
Cry?
They're going to rediscover umbrellas.
Oh, yeah.
The Penguin March is coming, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we've seen a couple examples of the Penguin Front trying to block people's faces and stuff like that. So
I saw a post today about some of these autonomous zones and how no reporters are going to be let in. And it made me laugh because Glenn Greenwald has been annoying me with this shit. I'm actually with him on the idea that these people should be able to express themselves, within the legal context of doing so.
Well, yeah.
But there's got to be a part of him that feels like an asshole defending these kids' First Amendment rights when they're, shitting on the notion of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Because they specifically said press can't come in here.
Oh, they've also kicked streamers out.
Sure.
I've seen a couple people I follow on X get booted out of their area because they're the wrong type of people. And I think only one of them was actually Jewish.
Well, if you remember, this is a holdover from 2020 because they got so much backlash because we could see what they were actually doing. Yeah. They started targeting anybody who wasn't one of them who had a camera.
Yep. Even some of their own people were getting yelled at.
Yep.
Not necessarily thrown out, but told to shut the stream off or no faces, that sort of thing.
Yep. They would get reprimanded. They'd have a little struggle session right there in the street.
Mm-hmm. Real quickly, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And that's why we see less and less of this footage. It's not even necessarily the platforms. It's the people involved in these protests who are keeping it from happening. Because they want to make you aware of everything.
Yeah, totally not information control at all.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're totally open and transparent, idiots. But thank you, Keldrig. Occupy movements are my favorite because they never get anything accomplished. No one cares about them and it pisses them off, so they cry about it on the internet. Yep. I guarantee you, when these guys start accomplishing nothing and they piss off enough of the students, especially the foreign students, you're going to see them whining online like, this Chinese kid came up and yelled at me. And I was like, but you're oppressed, man. And he's like, I pay lots of money.
Well, that's why Riot season it was going to be so great, is because a lot of those people will be going home for the summer. So we were going to, and I still have hope, Jack. I do, that this is going to cause an escalation. Because if there's one thing these little adult children can't take, it's being told no. And they're getting told no a lot. And so what are they going to do? They're going to escalate. And that's where the real fun begins. That's when the pepper balls come. I need pepper balls, man. I need one of these assholes to get hit in their Palestinians with a pepper ball.
Right in their Gaza Strip.
Right in their Gaza Strip, man. It's okay if it hits just the West Bank, as long as one of the banks gets hit. That's all I'm saying. It
might have grazed part of Israel, but it went along their Gaza Strip and landed right in their Hamas.
Or if you're Joe Biden, hit him in the Mexico.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you see the line of professors trying to? They were wearing like safety jackets. Did you see that one?
I did. Are these? Wait, is that the one where they were calling themselves marshals?
Might have been.
I've seen lots of safety vests, and that is the one that sticks out in my mind. Is these kids? I think they were the kids though, calling. These are our marshals. What?
I'll grab you the link just in case.
Okay, Wyatt Earp, whatever you say. Fuck, man. So let's see. We have it kicking off in Virginia, which I was actually surprised to see Virginia as one of the kickoff points for this. But of course, Columbia, where they just cleared the kids today, right?
They haven't cleared them yet. They started suspending people. Last I checked,
okay.
They haven't been clearing them. But they keep talking about it.
Kent State levels of disruption? Probably not yet. I did watch a really funny video of this this really tiny little protest. I don't know what college it was at. And the guy who's talking to the protesters, he asked them why there wasn't more diversity there. Apparently, they had already shut down their own protest because they didn't have enough diversity. And so, well, they postponed it. And so they finally get it going. He's like, I thought you guys postponed because you didn't have enough diversity. But he's talking to the guy, and the guy says this. Of course, there's going to be outside agitators, and we don't condone any of that stuff. We also have a bail fund. Huh. You got a bail fund for the peaceful protest.
Yeah, like you do.
I am really enjoying watching these colleges have to deal with this shit.
They created this.
Yeah. They've not just created it, encouraged it.
Yeah, this is their monster. You have to go fight it, Frankenstein. Come on.
I have a solution, though. If they really want to fix this, Jack, coloring books and puppies. It'll calm everybody right down.
That's true.
Get these man babies some puppies and some coloring books. And for the record, I like to color. It's a relaxing thing. It really is. It's very calming to just sit there and do that. But I've never been like so pissed off. I'm like, I just need to color.
If I don't get my safe space, I'm gonna cry. Ugh,
I need a puppy. Where's Christie Noem?
Nice.
Oh, dude, that fucking meme about her. Sorry, guys, I'm not showing that one on screen because there's a child with a gun in the picture, and I think we'd get in trouble.
Probably because people are hypersensitive pussies now.
Oh,
What?
shit!
That's you.
I know, it just kicked out.
I blame older boys. Thank you, Travis Gardner. The Democrat National Convention is going to be in Chicago this year. History may repeat itself.
1968.
Indeed.
1968, baby. Oh, wait, that does not bode well for RFK Jr.
That was 63.
Was it 63?
Oh, wait.
No.
63 was John. I don't know.
Yeah, 68's when his dad got shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it that late?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Because Johnson runs in 64 and doesn't run again, and so Bobby runs in 68.
Wow. Well, what's Sirhan doing? Is he still in jail?
I don't know. Nobody cares about Sirhan because I mean he killed and also ran. I mean he still killed somebody and that's not cool or anything. But if he'd waited till Bobby was president, then everybody would care what he's doing.
Yeah, he was the spare like Prince Harry.
Jiraiya says, "Monkey out! Shots fired." That's not nice.
Literally, shots were fired.
You took my bad joke and made it worse. I applaud you, sir, or ma'am. Jiraiya, I guess, could be female. I don't know the origin of the name. This is why I need Steves and Beths in my life because I know what those are. Well, I used to, unless they work for the Biden administration. Just saying.
Then they'd steal your luggage.
Alien says I should make some adult coloring books. Those were really big for a time. People were spending hours and hours doing these really intricate colorings. I don't need that. You know what? Give me a Looney Tunes coloring book. Give me a Batman or a Spider-Man coloring book. I'm not going to color and then pretend I'm an adult. You know what I mean? That's like eating a Lunchable with a juice box and pretending you're an adult.
It's kind of hard to pull that off.
It is. Just embrace the childhood part of it. It's okay. And I like a Lunchable and I like juice boxes. You know where I learned to love them? When I was younger. Anyway.
We've been reliably informed that Sirhan is still in jail. Okay, moving along. I am excited about Riot season. I think this year is going to be big. I think we're going to see some real action. Hey, mofo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hi to me, and then you said mofo. Damn.
You could qualify for that as well.
Some days, I mean, my wife is a mother.
Depends. It's true.
I'm just saying. Monkey defending his manliness after his saying, no, you're missing my point there. It wasn't my manliness. I embracing your childhood is not manly. It's just honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, we got the Riot season kicking off. There wasn't a whole bunch. I mean, we got a couple of people arrested. We had a couple of handcuffed takedowns, which I always love to. Did you see? I think it might even be in that video where they have one of the protesters down. If you guys missed Riot season 2020, what happens a lot of times when you have big lines of people like that and the police lined up in front of them, one of these idiots will do something like reach out and punch a cop, and the cops will yank them out of the line.
Yep.
If you watch the video that we just had up, you'll see them just kind of lining up and moving them back by moving forward. But if one of them does something, the cops will run in there and grab their ass and take them down, which I'm assuming happened. I don't know what this person really did. But they're on the ground. This is all on video, and somebody's yelling, "We need a legal observer over here."
That you might as well just cry, "I need an adult."
Yeah. I need a legal observer. Which makes as much sense as when they used to yell, "We need a medic," and it's just some dude who worked at CVS.
Yeah. They almost never have any actual first aid training.
No.
Not even just like the basic that a Boy Scout has.
Yeah. I once had a Band-Aid on. I can be a medic.
Yeah, it's really sad.
And honestly, I was worried about Trey because that medic told him horribly bruised testicles home and not worry about it unless it gets a little. No, you should have went to a doctor and had that checked out.
Yeah, you should have went to the ER. That's your balls, dude. Don't
No,
risk your balls.
a woman with literally no medical training told him it'd be okay.
So stupid.
I fucking love Riot season. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Oh, that's very good coloring, Frankie. I always wondered what the purple Batman would look like. We're gonna hang this on the front or on the fridge. No, look. I am one of those people who doesn't color stuff weird. I things need to be the color they're supposed to be. I've always been that way.
Sad.
It's like video games where you can make your character horribly disfigured. I can't bring myself to do it, even as funny as I find it when other people do. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not right.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
It's got to look human. I don't need it to look like Chet from Weird Science. They should make a Weird Science video game where the whole purpose is to make a hot, big-tittied woman to have sex with. Have you seen all the controversy blowing up about Stellar Blade?
Yeah, I saw a clip on Twitter about some guy going up and down an elevator shaft.
Yeah.
And he's just staring at it. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, he was being they were making it out that he was just that entranced with her. He was being purposefully that way for the stream, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But jokes only matter when it's their side telling jokes, like when the woman said offered a $30,000 bounty for people to go kill someone. That's a real thing that happened. I mean, she was joking. And I'm not saying she's not, but can you imagine if I did that to a feminist?
Oh my God. Yeah, that would end poorly for you.
Thank you, Keldrig. It all makes sense now. The real reason they hate Kyle Rittenhouse is because he was outshining them with his baseline first aid capabilities.
Right.
Yeah, so this chick, I've seen her a few times. Her name is Denim's TV. She's the female Hassan.
Oh God, that's terrifying.
And she's a Hassan nut hugger. This is how much of a nut hugger she is. Her stream from 2 days ago is about how Hassan owned everybody on the Piers Morgan show, which even Hassan admits was a bad showing.
Yeah, it was terrible. He looked like such a douche nozzle, more than usual.
If you guys didn't see it, Hassan is on there and they're talking about Israel. And him and this Israeli supporter, they get into a little bit of an argument. And then there's this black lady on there who, when she finally gets to the point to talk, she makes a couple of decent points in there, things that should be addressed in an actual conversation. And when she's done speaking, Hassan goes, I would have said all of that, but I had to fight with this chick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's not smart. And look, if I'm on the pro-Palestinian side, I'd want that black girl talking for me because she's clearly far more intelligent than Hassan is.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty low bar to...
Granted, the Motrin I took a little while ago was more intelligent than Hassan is. But anyway, this chick, there's a guy named Grums who's a former game developer, and he's pretty prolific over on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. That's all. That's the end of that story. Oh, wait, maybe not.
Oh, am I back? Did I cut out?
Yes, you're back.
Fuck.
You just told us who Grums was, and then I was like, that's the end of that.
Oh. No, Grums, he's been talking about Stellar Blade because when this launches on PlayStation, they sneak in this kind of patch that takes away some of the sexiness.
Ew, lame.
Yeah, and he's pointing out that censorship is bad. And for doing that, this woman's like, I'll give $30,000 for somebody to make him shut up, as she's reading his Twitter profile. Apparently, she owes me $30,000. Hey, Denims, use the block feature, you fucking retard. Because she offered $30,000 for anybody who can make him go away so she doesn't have to see what he says anymore. And again, well, I think she was joking. She's not funny. She's a woman. She shouldn't try it. Leave it to the smart women, lady.
But let a man write your dialogue for you.
Again, if anybody else said that, even in a joke, they'd get in trouble. Fuck. Bear got kicked off Twitter for a while because he called a friend a cunt.
Yeah.
But no, you can go out there and make, who was it? Fuck, somebody that follows me got in trouble the other day for saying, I think it was Pincalo, for saying a politician should be slapped with a fish. So while in principle, I'm on the side of, hey, it was just a joke, calm down. I'm also in the real fucking world where if I said that shit, they'd probably have the FBI on me. And all of this is over sexy stuff in a video game.
Stupid, sexy stuff.
It's just fucking stupid. This guy, and remember, in Grums's point, he's not even for it because, oh, look, we get to see fake titties on a screen. It's the idea of censorship that bothers him. And this bitch is like, we should take him out.
Yeah, well, these censorious people really like shutting people up one way or
They really
another.
do.
Which is why I'm worried about Trump. If they don't end up throwing him in jail, which I think they're going to, I am very afraid of what level they'll go to next.
Well, since you brought up Trump, I guess it's time to watch Nicole Wallace.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Saying ibuprofen is better than Hassan is a given. Ibuprofen actually has a job and does it well. That's true.
Fair. That is fair. Doubt Trump goes to jail. Right now I'm at about 50-50.
The trial is in New York, and they are going to pull out every trick in the book to make him go to jail. So I think they're going to find a way to make him go to jail.
They've if you're watching the prosecution and stuff, they've already done this. This prosecution shouldn't even have happened.
Yeah. Nobody else would do it, and now suddenly this guy finds a way to do it using a federal law to do a state crime.
Yeah. A federal law to do a state crime that the Fed said wasn't a crime.
And even this guy's predecessor said he wasn't going to prosecute.
Yeah, because there's no crime there.
Yeah. But
it is in New York, and I mean, this is what'd they go through, like 90 jurors on day one?
Yeah.
He's toast. Now, will it stand? I don't know. Will he be let out on, pending appeal? Probably. But we'll see what happens with it. They've accomplished what they wanted to with taking him off the campaign trail.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's not forget the judge has issued a gag order so Trump can't talk about the judge or his family because the judge donated to Joe Biden and his daughter is a fundraiser for the Democrats. No bias, though. He's totally fair. Don't worry. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Why does Nicole Wallace look like she just finished blowing somebody? Just trying not to spit the juice out.
Okay, it's still stormy here. It has been for the last 2 days.
Hey, you should stop doing that.
Switch to the other internet. Hopefully we don't have any power blinks or anything. So we're going to the more choppy video to watch Nicole Wallace say something really stupid. Because this woman is an idiot.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's indicative of what Trump is facing here. Fears grow over prospects of second Trump term. Dun, dun, dun.
Who knows?
Wait, how can there be a second Trump term? He wasn't going to leave office, remember?
Yeah, they said he was wasn't really elected anyway because they were a bunch of election deniers in 2016.
It was legal back then.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the rules changed.
All right, Nicole, say something stupid for me, sweetie.
I've seen that toast a bunch of times.
That's loud as shit.
But it landed very differently this year because depending on what happens in November, 7 months from right now, this time next year, I might not be sitting here. There might not be a White House correspondents' dinner or a free press.
That's it. Donald Trump is going to get rid of the free press.
Holy shit. That's some superpowers. What are they going to do? Like what Obama tried to do and throw people out of the press corps?
I spy on their computers, lock them up, that kind of shit.
Plant kitty porn on them like they were going to do to Cheryl Atkinson's husband.
The one who's actually done it, Donald Trump said the press sucked.
Yeah.
He said he wished he could do more about the lies that they tell.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who did something about misinformation? It wasn't Trump.
The guy who's in office now was the VP for the guy who actually went after the press.
Yep.
Used the law to do so.
Well, they had wrong think, monkey.
But no. I mean, they can't find Biden's. Did you see that Judge Joe Brown clip?
Yes.
That was good.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, where he goes over, the history of Biden's racism.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
He's not. And he said a word in there that I'm not sure how many people caught, but he's naming off the senators who were all on board with the crime bill and all of that. Mm-hmm. And he mentioned the name Byrd.
Oops.
Who, remember, was Joe Biden's mentor and friend and a member of the KKK.
Look, so you're a grand cyclops once in a while.
The insanity coming from these people, it has just been kicked up to a whole new level, and it has to be.
Yeah.
Because you already told gay people they're going in camps. You already said all Mexicans are getting kicked out. None of that happened. You said he'd never leave office. He'd have to be drug out kicking and screaming by the military. That didn't happen. So they just have to keep escalating the nonsense. Now, if you're a smart person, you see this and go, but none of the other shit you said happened would happen. Unfortunately, the left are not smart.
No, they need to be afraid of something. They fear for a lot of people. I have friends like this that are on the left, and fear is an adrenaline rush for them. They love to be afraid and refuse to admit that. No, you just don't understand, man. You don't understand. You don't see all the news I do, so you don't know to be afraid of what this man will do. Yeah, well, he hasn't done any of it, so shut the fuck up. But he could.
Snubber, thank you. So is Trump still on the ballot? As far as I know, yeah. The Supreme Court case that came down overrode all of the ones that were going on. So unless somebody's come at it with a new novel approach, yeah, he's on the ballot everywhere. Anyway, I just wanted to show Nicole here and her hyperbolic bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I just want to remind you, it's the end of April. We have to get to November. And this is the starting point. They're going to get rid of all the press. Where do they go from there? They're going to sew up the vaginas.
Handmaid's Tale. They haven't dusted that one off in a little bit.
No, they haven't. But it will come because, they are trying to make abortion the big debate.
Yeah, which is fucking dumb.
And kind of funny because I saw a poll yesterday. You know what's still the biggest topic on people's minds?
The economy?
Nope. The southern border.
Yeah, that was my second guess.
Yeah. And that's been out of the news for a while. They've been trying to bury that because they know it's a bad subject for Biden.
Yeah. Don't worry, he'll get Kamala on it.
With all of their push, Kamala herself just 2-3 days ago had another, we're going to protect the women's rights because you got to be able to kill a baby. They want that to be the main thing because, believe it or not, guys, it is their best topic. It does do well. Women are the majority of voters, and they've been lied to for 50 years that their medical health depends on the ability to murder a child in their womb. It's just a parasite. You know, the people who say fetuses are just parasites, I believe them in their case.
That's what their mom told them they were.
Yeah. Your parents don't like you either, huh? Anyway, the insanity is just going to get worse. It's almost a retelling of 2020, but more 2016-ish because we don't have the pandemic going on.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The riots that are taking place on our college campuses, and I'm curious if it's going to spread off campus, Jack.
Yeah, I am too. It might.
I mean, if we go back, how do I put this? Our knowledge of modern day Antifa in America starts from colleges. They got a lot of publicity from 2020, rightfully so. But remember, they were the ones that were responsible for a lot of the violence that happened in 2016 on college campuses. That's where the majority of those kind of riots were. And it was almost always because you let somebody talk here. That's where those assholes came from. So I think we're going to see a little bit more subdued riot season this time, Jack.
It's possible.
Especially because Democrats heavily rely on the Jewish vote to get elected.
Well, they've already kind of made their stance clear on that. I would just put Ilhan Omar talking in every ad.
I had to laugh to myself today because I saw a clip of Ilhan Omar. Kanye West got canceled for saying basically the same thing Ilhan Omar did back in 2018.
Yep.
And all Ilhan had to do was go talk to a couple members of Congress who were Jewish and come out and go, I didn't realize Jews had been oppressed. My bad. And she got a free pass on it. But Kanye had to get canceled because it had to be done because he's more popular than she is. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, well, they don't like that either.
No. And look, I'm not agreeing with what Kanye said. I just find it amazing that somebody pointed this out on Twitter that if he had waited 6 months to say what he said, he'd be a hero right now to these people.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a Nazi then. Remember that? He was a Nazi. Yeah. And now it's okay to hate Jews. So anyway, that's Nicole being an idiot because she works for the press. I'm seeing more and more of her lately. Is she the new Maddow?
I think they're trying to make her this. She's always been one of those people that has like a certain following, like the wine mom population. Plus, she did some of the like crime shows and stuff like that. So I think they're trying to pump her up to be another like Katie Couric type.
Yeah. I wonder if I could sell Kanye West merchandise to these guys. I bet I could.
You probably could, yeah.
Get them to wear Kanye was right t-shirts.
Ooh.
Oh. If I was a dirtier person, I would be so rich. Speaking of dirty people who got rich doing dirty things, we have to talk about that. We're going to take a little comedy break here and talk about the Krasensteins.
Oh, God. Those idiots.
This is Ed Krasenstein, and he posted this little video of himself, and it said, "What am I doing here? Wrong answers only." And I, being the funny person I am, said, "Passing is straight."
I'm surprised he hasn't blocked you yet.
Me too. I do not know why this motherfucker hasn't blocked me. And it's the one thing I will give the Krasensteins credit for. They have more balls when it comes to criticism than people like Jesse Kelly or Cat Turd. That's just true.
Yeah, which is sad. You'd think those guys would have a better sense of humor, but
yep. But his little fans got very mad about this. it's a throwaway joke. But it was, I saw one person tell me, they said, that's not, nobody, what do you say? Nobody should get offended at that. It's calling somebody gay is not a bad thing. And then they ended by suggesting I was gay. I thought, what?
It's not how that works, kid.
It's not. It's really not. But I just had that. I was proud of my joke because I thought it was funny. But there's nothing else. I just like pointing out that the Krasensteins are kind of gay. A bunch of police officers got shot today, Jack.
Yeah, I saw that. Weird that it happened in the exact same town where Patriot Front was marching.
Yeah. The police go to serve a warrant on this guy, and he opens fire on him. I've seen two different things, whether it was 3 or 4 cops who were killed.
Yeah, the number changes depending on the outlet. So
yeah, between 3 or 4 officers were killed. Several more were shot.
Yeah, there were 3 U.S. Marshals killed, possibly up to 5 local police officers, and several others injured.
Yeah, and Stephen King had a take on this.
Of course he did.
He said 3 law officers killed and 5 wounded in Charlottesville while trying to serve a warrant. Ain't guns wonderful?
Guns are pretty awesome, but not really relevant to the situation we're talking about here.
No, Jack, these police marched up to that house and these guns just started firing all by themselves.
Holy shit, that's insane. Oh, wait, that's not real.
That's not real at all. It's a poor craftsman who blames his tools. I was told by Hassan that you're not supposed to stand on dead bodies, but I guess it's okay again.
That is for the left every time.
Yeah, because if you point out the people who were killed in Israel, hey, you're just standing on the dead bodies. But, if the bodies haven't even gotten cold yet and you're using them to push your gun control nonsense, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Have you been seeing what's going on in LA with the DA's office?
I vaguely heard something about it. I really have. I've been watching the Riot stuff more.
Okay, this is from Red State, and I'm not going to read through the article. Just going to go over it basically. Load up. There we go. The lady on the right here is the number 3 down there in the DA's department in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And this is Gascon, the DA out there.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
She is now facing 11 felony counts for inappropriately accessing personal information.
Sounds right.
She basically stole a whole bunch of files and brought them with her to her new job when she got the job at the DA's office, and has been accessing them to go after people who, how do I say this, potentially might have damaged Gascon by criticizing him.
No, that sounds right. Yeah.
She's also used it to go after police officers who've been in like shootings and exonerated for it.
Yep. Sounds right.
Which directly implicates the shitbag on the right there. The George Soros funded DA who won't put real criminals away, but will go after police who are doing their job.
Oh my God, I'm shocked.
Yeah, she can fall on her sword, and that's probably what's going to happen. But if they can prove this asshole was aware of this, this could take this down. Not only that, this has the potential to destroy a lot of cases that they push through. This could, a bunch of people who have been found guilty, the poison tree, man.
Oh, yeah, for the poison tree. Every case needs to be reviewed now.
Everyone. And if they can find any kind of connection to her going through those files to find stuff, that shit gets thrown out. Good job, dumbass. But hey, it's Soros funded, so it's okay. Devil Fruit Zero, thank you so very much. I've been trying to get this to you since your birthday. PayPal and storms aren't going to stop me now. Happy belated birthday. Here's to another year of content. Cheers. Well, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate it. I ate my last piece of cake 2 days ago, and I was sad.
Because you waited so long to eat it, or because it was gone?
Both.
I
didn't enjoy it. It was kind of dry. It was really dry, honestly. But I still ate it out of principle because I only eat that kind of cake once a year.
Oh, well, that's fair.
But I still had to throw out a chunk of it because nobody should eat the rest of that. I took one for the team and did it so nobody else had to. Cake lasts a long time in my house. We'll have cake on the birthday or whatever, and then most of the rest of it ends up in the trash if there's any left.
Cake does not last long in my house, and I live alone.
Brownies, we'll fuck up some brownies, man. But cake is it's something everybody loves. We just don't eat a bunch of it. Anyway, Diana Taryn was arrested Saturday on 11 felony charges related to the unauthorized use of data from confidential, statutorily protected peace officers' files. She was specifically going after cops.
Of course. I mean, why would any of us be surprised by that at this point?
I love this line, though. Like many alleged felons in Los Angeles County, Taryn was out on bail less than an hour after her arrest.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I mean, they're going to have some problems there at the district attorney's office. Good job, dumbasses.
Yeah.
But
none of us should be surprised by this.
Maybe they're smarter than I'm giving them credit for, Jack. Maybe they're like, oh, man, we can't get these felons out. Maybe if we fuck up the case really bad, we can do it that way.
I guess.
Questionable guess. Go and bring the charges against. No, this is the state attorney's investigation. The state of California is coming after her. So whatever, I'm guessing what Sacramento would be who's going to be over this.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. See, I'm a real Californian. I know where the capital is.
Yeah, Fresno.
The real capital is San Francisco, and we all know it, but that's not where the lawmakers meet. That's where the pedophiles meet to make laws so that it's easier to bang kids. I'm just saying. Alan Kelly. This is a name we haven't talked about much here. He's a Texas dude who shot an illegal who was on his property.
Yes.
Down there in Santa Cruz. Wait, Santa Cruz. That's Texas, right?
I don't think so.
Or is that California?
I don't know. What am I, a geography major?
I don't fucking care. The good thing is the jury hung in his case, and the prosecutor finally came out and said, yeah, we're not retrying him.
Good. They shouldn't have tried him to begin with.
No, dude's like 78 years old or something like that.
Yeah, he's some old man who had some fucking criminals wandering across his yard, and they were armed, as I recall. And he kills one of them, and suddenly he's in trouble. No, that's bullshit. This dude should have got a medal.
Yeah. Santa Cruz is in Texas. I think he's in Arizona. The charges were in Santa Cruz County. So wherever that is, he shot an illegal, and they're like, how dare you shoot an illegal? Thank you, Rodline, who asks, how was your Chargers draft? My Bears was good.
Are practically saints.
What's up?
Fucking terror sympathizers.
Yeah.
I don't know. My internet's acting a little weird.
Okay, it was one of us. Rodline, thank you. How was your Chargers draft? My Bears was good. I only saw the one guy that they got, the outside. Is he outside tackle, right? Or offensive tackle. What's his name? They need some help on their front line, and if he transfers to the NFL as well as he did in college, it's a great pickup for them. Harbaugh is talking about the running game, which you just don't see much in the NFL anymore. Nobody pumps up the run game like we did just 10 years ago because everybody's about to pass. I just didn't see the rest of the draft to know how they did. I haven't looked into it yet. I've been busy with a sink. Anyway. They never did ballistics, which alone should have gotten the charges thrown out. I mean, you can still bring charges without that. That's just additional evidence. Never should have been brought in the first place because he was defending his own property, and then fuck off with that shit.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get shot on somebody else's property, go somewhere where it's okay to be on somebody else's property. You know, like your home fucking country. We do have to talk about Christie Noem for just a minute because I have to address this publicly because this guy's an idiot. This cattle rancher, he came out to say Christie Noem is a liar, Jack.
Oh no.
She lied about the killing her dog story. She didn't really need to kill that dog. He's had dogs before that killed lots of chickens, and he kept them, and they didn't kill no more chickens. That's just what dogs do when you put them in a chicken coop. That's what he said.
That's
but he goes
the
on.
stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
He goes on to say this: to dispel another myth being posited by those who have not examined the facts. Keep that in mind. For those who have not examined the facts. The first quote attributed to Noem in relation to the dog having ever bit a person came yesterday, and I would surmise it was included in the release to add a legal defense. Remember, he's dispelling misinformation by people saying shit when they have not actually looked into this. I knew this was nonsense immediately, Jack, because I haven't read a story about this since the 26th. And if memory serves, yesterday, which is when this would have been posted, was the 29th. And I already knew this information.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it 2 days ago on the show.
Yep.
But no, so apparently Noem went back in time, rewrote her book to add that so that reporters on the 26th of April would put that in there because it only came out on the 28th.
Damn time traveling reps. Why are all these members of Congress getting access to time machines?
This motherfucker had the nerve to write, by those who have not examined the facts. Why are people who haven't actually examined the facts so quick to say that other people haven't?
Shut up.
Look, if you don't like that Noem killed a dog, I get it. We like our pets here in America. And while he does admit that this happens on farms, it's just her. Don't worry, he's not a Republican or a Democrat, Jack.
Sure, he's not. Totally
He's
not
neither of those.
No, why would he be?
He's just someone who examines the facts without examining the facts.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's go with that story. Why not?
His biggest point is that, hey, they didn't shoot the dog right then and there when it was killing the chickens. They subdued the dog and then they made the decision to kill it later. So she's clearly lying, Jack. She time traveled so that she could tell that lie about it biting people.
Like you do.
It literally comes from the book. The quotes that are going around that they didn't originally put in quotes. It's literally from the fucking book that they were talking about that made this a story in the first place.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Jesus. I wasn't even looking for that information. The article I read about it was on the Hill. So it was easy for me to find and link to this dumbass. I'm sure it won't matter to him because he's examining facts that don't exist.
Like you do.
But it's not even, it's a line in the story. If you read the story, you heard it. You read it. If you watched our show 2 days ago, which he obviously should because he could use the education, you heard us talk about it. No, that shit didn't happen until yesterday. Why are cunts always so arrogant?
How much time do you have for me to answer that?
Speaking of cunts, there was a funny Spaces on X on the Twitter machine today or yesterday. I forget which, Jack. Everything's running together right now. Where somebody asked the question, is Just Pearly Things a pick-me or the new Kevin Samuels? I laughed so fucking hard when I read the title for that space.
That made me mad because how dare you compare her to Kevin Samuels?
Well, the guy who was hosting it is on the side of she's Kevin Samuels reincarnated as a white chick.
No. Does he know who Kevin Samuels is? Like, stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Doesn't care. He's one of those people who gives the red pill an extremely bad name.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But I tuned in to listen, and I only got to hear two people speak because it's Spaces, and I can't take much of those people.
Yeah.
The one guy, I forgot what he was talking about. He was trying to make the argument that she just steals other people's ideas, which is true.
Accurate, yeah.
And look, there's nothing wrong with getting an idea from somebody else as long as you pursue it further and put more thought into it. If all you're doing is parroting, which is what she does, then you can't defend your own position, and she never can defend her own position because she's never put thought into what she repeats.
Yeah, you have to try and add something new. I mean, you can fail at it, but you have to try.
Ramen says, I don't know who Kevin Samuels is. May he rest in peace. He was one of the bigger red pill guys out there, except for he didn't push it like ABBA and Preach do. Sorry, not ABBA and Preach, like Fresh and Fit do. What he mostly did was have women on his show who would call in and be like, I deserve a rich man. And he would explain to them why they didn't.
Yeah, I would say he wasn't necessarily red pill. He was more reality based. Like, we need to have some reality checks for you dumb bitches that have completely unrealistic expectations for what you deserve.
Well, he kind of set the mold for what we see today of bringing in dumb women and pointing out how dumb they are.
Yeah.
But in fairness to him, he had a call-in show. He wasn't going to clubs and picking up skanks with big old titties to put on the show to try to drive traffic.
Yeah. He got everyone from like cashiers to PhDs to call into his show so they could prove him wrong. And then he'd cite statistics, and he was mostly focused on black men, well, understandably, but it appealed to pretty much every man because this is the shit you're dealing with these crazy bitches. If you haven't watched him, I recommend it. It still holds up. I'll find the link here in a second and drop it.
Yeah, he passed away, last year?
I believe it was, yeah.
And I agree with him on most. The only thing that I really had a problem with Samuels was he also is one of the people like, hey, high value men should be able to cheat, which no, you should not be cheating. If you're going to be cheating, just don't get into a committed relationship. Then go bang all the dumb whores you want.
Yeah, and he did seem to kind of buy into a little bit of the black theology where, white people descended from the Caucasus Mountains after being created.
Nuts says, oh, like the whatever guy. Hi, Nuts. Yeah, basically. I mean, that's become if you want to get in on the red pill space, that's what you got to do. Bring on some big titty, dumb women and show that they have big titties and are dumb.
Yeah, Kevin dealt with more like normal people.
Yeah, most of the people that you saw in there, one of the things that really brought Kevin to some prominence and how I found him, Jack, was people were mad that women would call into him, and one of his first questions to them was always rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And all of these bitches were like, I'm an 8. And I'm going to just be perfectly frank here with you. I was prettier than some of these women.
Oh my God, yeah. Like the one with the big condor on her chest.
Yes.
She's like a 2. I have just found the link for that one. You guys, if you want a good example of what Kevin could do, watch this highlight clip from his streams. All his streams were worth watching. He would do like, at first he started doing like fragrance reviews because he was like a perfume reviewer. And then he started telling people how to dress, stuff like that. So he was like a fashion consultant kind of thing.
He started out the channel itself was just a men's fragrances review channel, and he morphs into giving men just general advice on very Peterson-esque advice, really.
Yeah, him and Peterson had a lot in common, whether they admit to it or not. But
yeah,
plus Kevin really was a sharp dresser. That man knew how to coordinate.
Oh yeah,
I've smelled some of the perfumes or colognes that he'd recommend, and they're pretty good. Not my thing. I don't really wear that shit, but
when he switches over to giving advice to men, he had men calling into the show. And one day, a very fateful day, he switches things up and has women call in. And then after that, it's almost exclusively women calling in.
Yeah. Yeah. I could listen to those streams over and over again.
Yeah.
Because he was so blunt about it. He was sort of in the same, like a less high-pitched tone than Judge Judy, but that same sort of bluntness.
Yeah. He just said things that people didn't want to hear. And look, for a lot of these women, please understand, we are not talking about the women who go on Fresh and Fit or the whatever podcast. We're not talking about hoes in their hoochie outfits. We're talking about women who would call in and go, look, I was married to a guy. We have 3 kids. I thought I could do better. But I can't find anybody. How do I get my man back? And Kevin would be like, bitch said what?
Yeah, you don't, stupid.
The one chick that I remember, she was mad that she divorces her husband. She can't find anybody else. He immediately finds someone. Remember, she kicked off the divorce. She admits all of this. It's not like it's her side of the story or his side of the story. And he said she kicked. No. She admits she kicked it all off. And she's mad at him for not dumping the new lady to get back with her.
Yep. Why would he? Why would you do that?
But if he loved me, bitch, if you loved him, you wouldn't have done that. So again, while I do see problems with Kevin wasn't a perfect guy. And like I said, with the rich men can cheat. They can, but they shouldn't.
Yeah,
most of what he did and talked about, it's not what you think of as the modern red pill, because the modern red pill is just bitches suck.
Yeah, he was bordering toward MGTOW, but not really, because he was all for relationships, just healthy ones.
And he'd give these girls good advice. My favorite line of his: put your dick away.
Yeah,
stop acting like men.
Oh my God, so many of the women that called in, it was crazy what they would think was appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's worth watching a bunch of his, even just the shorter ones. So I'm supposed to sell for regular type dude. Lady, you're a 3. Okay. On a good day.
Yeah. When I first found him and then introduced him, I think you and I both spent like days just binge watching his shit.
Oh yeah. I watched every single video he did. I miss the guy, quite honestly. Yeah. I love binging those streams. I put them on, listen to them while they're in the background.
I do wonder what would have happened to Kevin if he was still alive today, because he was hanging out more with people like Fresh and Fit.
I think he probably would have got canceled by now.
I wonder if, because look, Kevin was good at business. He built one he recognized the way things were moving. And I do wonder if he would have verged into the new stuff like Rollo Tomasi. If you want to be a real man, you got to get your nuts cut when you're 18 so that you can have a family one day. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically his philosophy.
I don't think he would have done that because he was still really successful. He had 1 million subscribers with what he was doing. So, and he, I'm sure, had enough money he could retire on anyway. So he didn't really need to work because he had all those other jobs plus his consulting. So,
Annalyn says it is wild seeing them jealous that a guy will go out with someone else while still rejecting him. Well, these women were ready to take him back. You see, they went out there and they sowed their wild oat, and now he needed to come back to them. It is amazing. And it is part of what feminist ideology has done to women in America. I saw, I think it was it J.K. Rowling or Megyn Kelly? One of them the other day was talking about how the Democrats right now, it must have been Megyn Kelly because she said Democrats, are pushing the idea that they're for women, right? But their for women is literally just you can have an abortion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're telling you you have to put up with a guy waving his dick around your children in a female's locker room. And the question becomes how could women fall for that? And it's because they've been trained to.
Yeah. Because women are sheep. Sorry.
We're sheep. We've talked a lot about what's been done to men, but as I pointed out repeatedly, what's been done to women is just as bad.
Yeah.
You're just men. No, you're not. Go ahead, bud.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan, for the generous donation. This is Morning Jack. Good morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
And Alan, thank you so much. He said, morning, monkey. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Hope you have a great day.
Adabisi quoted one of my favorite lines from Kevin. You weigh as much as a quarterback. There's a fat chick that called in.
It was amazing listening to those women's idea of themselves.
Oh, the overvaluation is just staggering. Like, I deserve a 6'5" guy who makes six figures and has a giant dick. Well, what do you bring to the table? I bring peace, and I bring peace. Well, what's your dress size? 15. What? How
My
tall are
favorite,
you? 5'2".
What's your dress size? 15. Can you cook? No. How you get size 15 and you can't cook? But this is what I'm talking about with Kevin, where he gave good advice because he'd tell women, learn to cook. One, cooking is not that hard, and you ladies really want to please a man, make him a nice dinner. You want to be remembered as more than just the hoochie, make him a nice dinner. And gentlemen, that goes for you too. Learn to cook. Make your woman a nice meal. You're golden, man. It's amazing that something so integral to human life is been lost for both men and women. I can't even boil water. You literally just turn the fucking dial.
Yeah. I really don't understand how people don't know the basics of cooking. Oh, that bothers me.
Kevin Samuels was the real life embodiment for these women of the Mad TV sketch, Lowered Expectations.
Yeah.
Bitch, tone it down. You're not getting the NBA player fresh out of college with his $20 million contract. You'll be lucky to get Bob at Shacky's hamburger hut.
You get second shift at the plant.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Okay. Aim a realistic. Look, we should all want to bang hot people, but you're not gonna. Well, all right. You best you can hope for is average.
The one theme that does go through this and modern red pill shows was the amount of entitlement these women had. Whether it was the ones who dumped their husbands and then felt entitled to his love afterwards, or the ones who were like, I deserve a man who can take care of me. And Kevin would do things like break down, like, okay, how much money do you think your man should be making? Maybe at least $100,000. Okay, how many men in America make that much? And at the time, it was like 3%.
Yeah.
And he'd ask him, do you think you're in the top 3% of women with what you bring to the table? And their answer was always the same. But he should love me. You shouldn't have to put in any effort, but that motherfucker better bring his big ass checkbook. What?
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to do plus half of them had kids already.
Yeah.
Look, no rich guy wants to raise your children. I mean, that's a special kind of dude if that's the case, but that's an exception, not the rule.
Another one of my favorites was this chick who was clearly just out there. I don't know what the term is for a basketball groupie. You know, like they have the what do they call the hockey ones? The puck whores. I forget. But she clearly all she did was go around and let athletes splooge in her. And she said this, how come none of these guys ever calls me back? Well, because they've all used you.
Yeah. You're a good time girl.
Why don't you understand that? Ladies, I know they've told you you can be just as hoary as men are. One, most men are not hoary like that. Let's get that out of the way right now. That is a misconception. But two, that is where your power is, okay? Your vagina is your power. You don't have to like it, but it's reality. And there's a reason, Jack, that women used to make you wait at least 3 dates. And before that, at least until the wedding. No, now these women are like, here, have the pussy. And the guy gets it and he's like, well, cool, I have some pussy. I'm going to go find me a woman.
Go find me a keeper, not a good time girl.
Yeah, you're a hole. That's what
you act like a cum dumpster. You get treated like a cum dumpster.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. Also, any woman out there who wants a man, you got to get rid of those vaginal bear traps. This isn't Vietnam. You can't get away with that shit anymore. That is a fact. Vaginal bear traps are an archaic remnant of a bygone era of communism, and we do not need those anymore. So please stop.
Guys, just stay single now. Don't get married. I don't agree with that either. I really don't, because I don't think most people are like this in reality. I think it's becoming much more common than it needs to be. And it's another thing that Kevin did. These women would call in and be, black men all suck. All they ever do is leave their kids. And he'd break out the statistics. The statistics actually don't show that black men are all leaving their kids. It shows they're being kept out of being in their children's lives.
Yeah. There is a percentage of people that cut and run, and it's a much smaller percentage than you think.
They're actually being incentivized by the government not to be with the baby daddies.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and there's more money in it for you from the welfare system.
And they're running around taking every dick they can find. And the guy's like, I don't want to be with that hoe.
Yeah.
So Kevin was in a class of his own. Especially, maybe that's why the red pill community pisses me off so much, because they're such a pale imitation. ABBA and Preach making fun of Fresh and Fit, and them at one moment going, she's not a hoe, and then saying, no, she's a hoe, and getting mad when ABBA and Preach point out the contradiction there.
Yeah. Well,
because
Kevin Samuels was like the mirror opposite of like Steve Harvey. And I like Steve Harvey, but his ideas about women are stupid.
Yeah.
And Kevin would tell people, look, you have unrealistic expectations. Where people like Steve Harvey and a lot of other people in the sphere of self-help and shit like that are like, no, you're a princess. You deserve nice things. No, you don't. You have to earn that shit. Okay.
This is what I was talking about with ruining women. We've seen what have been done to men as they try to turn us into women, and they're trying to turn women into men. And not only that, princess men. So they're trying to turn them all into Dylan Mulvaney. You deserve everything, girl. Slay it, queen. That bitch ain't a queen. She wouldn't even be a peasant. They'd have kicked her out because she stank. She got 9 kids by 15 daddies.
Right.
And if you guys don't believe that's possible, you obviously haven't watched Maury.
As long as they send the checks in, they're the damn.
I know it's one of these 12. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about him. It was actually 13.
I'll never
Baker's
forget
dozen.
There was. I used to watch Maury when I worked security. There's nothing to do with the fucking abandoned factory.
Yeah.
And there was one guy that got tested 4 times by this chick, and she still said he was the dad, even though every single time he was not the father. And the 5th time was on Maury, and he's like, I know I'm not the dad. She was taking him to court and all this other stuff. He took court-mandated DNA tests, and they were like, nope, it's not him. And the same thing happened again, and she started crying.
I know what happened there. She had a toilet-born bastard. She sat on a toilet seat.
Yeah.
So she didn't cheat on him. She just missed when she sat on the toilet seat.
Yeah, that's how that works. There was another chick that had like 15 dudes take tests.
Yeah.
Like she had accused 15 different men, including like one guy's dad, because she banged all these dudes. I'm like, you're a whore.
Yeah.
Just admit it. Like, you're never gonna know who the dad is, you filthy slut. You probably forgot a few.
But hey, you're not allowed to call her a slut because she's empowered.
Oh, sure.
You know what the funniest part about this is? Is that this is female empowerment, and actually, it's taking the real power away from women.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now they're just wage slaves like the rest of us.
The idea of putting vagina on a pedestal is not new. It's something men have done forever because we like vagina, Jack.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it used to be a way women motivated us. And you can be, hey, we shouldn't do that. Fuck you. It's human nature. And now they're just like, here, have it. Will you do stuff for me? Not now. You already gave me what I wanted. That's like somebody giving you a car and letting you drive it for 10 years, then coming along and go, hey, you want to buy that from me? No. Here you go. You can have it right the fuck back. Oh, it's fucking retarded. Anyway, I still do recommend a lot of Kevin's videos. I wasn't as much a fan of watching the streams because there was a lot of dead space or bad calls, but he clipped the good ones into their own videos, and check them out.
Yeah, they're absolutely worth it. I'd put the full live streams on and just let them play, because then I could do stuff and then listen in the background. And that one song was so fucking catchy.
I was just about to mention, when the song came on and the black girl be dancing, I stopped whatever I was doing to watch her, because god damn, that chick's ass is to die for.
Didn't really find her that attractive.
Because she's not Asian.
Yeah, so it's not my fault. Not every woman can be perfect. But yeah, that one song was just catchy. It gets stuck in my head. I'd have dreams about, probably because I fell asleep listening to podcasts.
Why buy the cow? Indeed, and that was brought up over on Rumble as well. All right, I'm sure there's more going on in the world. Didn't mean to get so distracted by that one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not really, but I'm filling time as I'm scrolling on Twitter to find out what else I was going to talk about.
Did you see Zelensky's asking for more money?
Nuh-uh.
I know. We just gave him $61 billion, and he wants more money, and he wants some F-16s.
I lose then, because I expect him to wait 6 months before he asks for more money.
Yeah, well, he wants the money for like repairs and like maintenance, that sort of thing, and then he wants long-range weapons, like the Storm Shadows, Scalps, Adams, AT-8CMs, and he wants, of course, guided aerial bombs, and he wants some F-16s.
Of course, just a few billion more. Who cares?
At least 7 Patriot batteries.
Yeah, no, he doesn't deserve what he got.
Yeah, but Patriot missiles are going to be part of an additional $6 billion aid package, by the way. So that's going to be snuck in, according to the LA Times. I saw that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more money.
The usual fearmongers are already out there going, if they don't get more, they could lose the whole war. What?
I'm sorry, did that big surge they had not win or do anything, like move the line at all? It's pretty much already over.
Yeah, they don't have a chance of winning this war unless they do it the way North Vietnam did.
Yeah, they have to get real messy and do some asymmetrical guerrilla warfare.
But the thing is, militarily, they still got the combat kill ratio is like 20-1 in our favor. We kicked the shit out of them. They just waited us out because we weren't willing to go all the way in.
Yeah, and it's disgusting because they're doing like strikes on oil refineries inside of Russia and shit like that. And I don't really care, either way. But that doesn't seem like the most productive use of your equipment,
especially when all they're doing is defending themselves. Remember, they weren't going to get any arms that would be used offensively.
Yeah,
Keldrick, thank you. Keldrick, thank you. What's a few $1 trillion between friends? I know, right?
Yeah, especially when you're probably getting kickbacks to the big guy.
We gotta see our favorite little retard, fire puller. Jamal Bowman out there in Congress. He's got some thoughts on Palestinian refugees and illegals here in the United States, Jack.
This guy is such a fucking idiot.
Did you see this fucking clip?
Yep.
All right, take it away, retard.
United States bring in people from Gaza.
Whoa.
Okay, that cut off. The question is, should the United States bring in people from Gaza?
We are a land of immigrants, and we are a land of asylum seekers. Anyone escaping.
Okay, I need to pause him right there. We're a land of immigrants and a land of asylum seekers. You know what else we're a land of, Jack, which black politicians love to remind me of?
Slavery?
Slavery. So if we're going to keep pulling that, hey, we're a land of immigrants. I mean, a lot of y'all came here against your will. Should we be doing that too?
Well, I mean,
or just this one
logic.
because it works for you. We're a land of slaves, so we should have slaves. They built this country, remember, Jack?
They built the city on rock and roll. Thank you. Real quickly.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. It may be cheaper just to bribe Putin to leave, right? Well, they could have had peace a long time ago, but they're not going to.
Yeah, peace could have happened. I think the first talks, the first Russian overture is like 3 months in. And actually there was talks before that, but to stop it about 3 months in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they keep saying he's going to go. If we don't fund Ukraine, he's going to go into NATO countries. Oh, he could have done that by now. He could have steamrolled all of Ukraine by now.
And just went straight to Poland where they're convinced he's going.
Yeah. The aerial bombardments could have leveled Kiev, but he hasn't done it. Yep. So it's pretty obvious he's not interested in doing it.
I just love their whole thing. If he wins this, he could go into NATO. He could do that now, fucker.
Yeah.
But this will stop him.
How? How does giving Ukraine money stop people from like Belarus or Moldova from wandering over? There's lots of other sympathetic countries to Russia that border NATO countries.
And for the love of fuck, could somebody point out to these people that Hitler went to more than just Poland? Because they always go to Poland. Y'all do know France was under German control for quite a bit of that war, right?
Yeah.
After the Germans invaded it. But anyway.
Persecution and oppression and violence. The United States has always been an open home to those people. So whether they're coming from Palestine.
Again, I bring up the slavery example.
Yeah.
Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, Haiti. They're coming here to contribute to our economy, which 99.9% of them are.
No, they're not. That's not true at all. They're coming here to leech off our system, and very few of them are contributing to the economy. That 99% bullshit is such a blatant fucking lie.
Yeah, them coming over here to get jobs is not them coming here to contribute to our society. They're coming here to abuse our system because the one in their own country sucks.
Yeah. Look at how many major cities have been saying they're going broke because of the illegals. And they're all sanctuary cities.
Yeah,
people are not contributing, they're taking.
How come New York City had to ask the federal government to help them out because of the cost of all of these people? I thought they were contributing 99%. I guess Eric Adams is just a liar, right? I mean, he is, but
yeah.
We've always been a place to open our doors to immigrants coming here. So yeah, fully support that. And also fully support amnesty for the migrants who have been here for quite some time.
Nobody supports amnesty.
Except when they do.
Except for when they're caught on camera supporting amnesty. No, we shouldn't be taking any more refugees in. I get the whole idea behind the refugee thing. And if Canada was under attack all right, yeah, we'll let some of them in. Even Mexico, if some of them were under attack, yeah, we can help them until the war is over. They can go live in I don't care, a crater. But the problem with refugees is is not supposed to be a permanent status.
No, they're supposed to go home. And I'm at the point now where Mexico could go fuck itself. So that we shouldn't take any refugees from Mexico after all they've done to us.
I'm talking if there was war.
Nope.
Under current situation, that they're not refugees.
What's going on now is definitely not refugees. But even if they were refugees at this point, we should tell Mexico to go fuck themselves. Because of all the times they've let people into our country.
The question was, should we take refugees from Palestine? Specifically from Gaza.
What are they running from the Romans?
We should take refugees from a group of people who, when given the choice, went with the more evil terrorist group.
Yeah, the ones that chant death to America that voted for Hamas. No, these people have destabilized other countries in the past. Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt. That's why nobody will take them as refugees.
Yep. But yeah, hey, we have a history of helping the oppressed. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Oh, you let terrorists in? Oh my God. How did you have a terror attack? That's stupid. This is so smooth brain thinking that, they're just like us. No, they're not, retard. You're fucking dumb. You're just dumb.
Do we not have enough American terrorist supporters on college campuses right now for this guy?
Right? If anything, we should be exporting people over there. You want to liberate Palestine and Gaza? Go for it. There you go. We'll send you in. We'll give you a little raft and let you go on that stupid little dock Biden built for the terrorists.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. This is an American representative.
Yeah. Times change, dum-dum, and we don't take terrorists in. Go fuck yourself.
Ilhan Omar was a refugee. Yes, she is. She should have gone back home.
Yeah, instead she married her brother and had anchor babies.
Yeah, she married her brother and got him illegal citizenship here in the United States, which when people found out, he quickly left the country and hasn't been back yet. Weird.
Yeah. Weird how that happens.
It's totally not true, though.
Totally not
true. Oh, no, I had not seen this video, Jack.
What?
The one that I saw when we were talking about the safety vests earlier, they were yellow vests for the marshals. These are the orange vests. What does it say? Columbia alumni support Gaza and the encampment.
Yeah, so according to some other people that had this video, some of these people are professors and some are alumni. So I'm not sure exactly what the demographic makeup is. Either way, it's a bunch of old people that really wish they were born in the 60s.
Yes. You know, I said that about with the first Gulf War, some of the people who were protesting. I'm like, you guys just wish you were born 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. What is it about people wanting to be hippies?
They want to oppose the man and they want to be part of something bigger than themselves. They want to be the righteous ones. And by the way,
go ahead.
It says Katie Smith on screen. I really loved Kate Smith's version of God Bless America. It's great.
Hippies were dirty, nasty people who turned into the yuppies of the 80s.
Yep. Because they grew up. Some of them stayed hippies, but most of them grew up.
But see, this is the problem. The problem isn't students. This is why I do give these kids a little bit of leeway. Not when they get violent and stuff, but people are like, how can they be this dumb? Because it's literally what they're taught to be.
Yeah, they've been taught to think so narrow since they were small children now. We have now reached 2 or 3 generations that have been only taught to think in one way. It's very,
No.
very rare you have schools anymore that teach you how to think critically and to look at opposing views or to listen to people that maybe not disagree with you, but don't entirely agree with you even. It's a limited, you can only go to these sources.
You said taught to think, which is where I have a problem. They're not taught to think. You are taught to memorize. This is what you know, and this is the only thing that's allowed.
Yes, but they call it thinking.
True.
They couch it in this is the appropriate way to think about a situation. Instead, you're actually just absorbing their ideology. It's almost like growing up in a religious cult, because I really do equate communism with a religion. It's an anti-religion, but it still functions like a cult.
And it's all about breaking it down so you can get people to have your communist revolution. It's what this has been going on for decades, almost a century now, actually over a century now. This shit really starts infecting the United States in the 20s. And it takes deep hold in our colleges in the 60s with the stupid ass hippie movement. And all of the people who were educated that way are the people who became the educators of the 80s and 90s. And those ones have become the educators of today. It is a cycle that the communists are very good at.
Mm-hmm.
And it is to our detriment that we haven't stopped it sooner, as everybody like, no, it's okay. You can have your communist views as long as I can point out how fucking stupid they are.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten a lot of places to censor any opposing views. So a lot of these young people really have no other schema to draw from. They don't hear opposing views because they're hypersensitive pussies and they don't go outside of their safety bubble. So
words of violence.
Yeah, if there's anything that contradicts what they've been taught, then it's a threat to them, and they feel uncomfortable with it, and they can't handle discomfort. So it must be aggression because they don't know any different. It's really sad that they have such a fear response to every single thing that is even slightly disconcerting to them or outside of their narrow worldview.
Yep.
It's going to really hurt these people later in life, not just in the political realm, obviously, but in work. Because how do these people function when they're told they did something wrong? They threaten to sue. They walk off the job. You see them sitting on the floor of Starbucks crying about working an 8-hour shift and it's slightly hard. And there's only 3 people working. Somebody misgendered me. Shut up. But it really is psychologically damaging to them because they don't know how to cope with that.
Nobody not me says they want to recreate the age of Aquarius. They really do. And part of it is that what I just described with the snowball effect of the 60s and the people who were in colleges then becoming the professors of the 80s, who become the professors of the 2000s. They idealized that time. We stopped the Vietnam War. One, no, you didn't. You actually got a lot of people killed. And they never talk about the fact that when we left Vietnam, do you know what the North Vietnamese did right after we left? They murdered 1 million South Vietnamese.
Yep.
1 million. But we
least.
don't talk about that because we don't talk about communism the way we talk about Nazism, which we really should.
Because
One,
it's worse.
they're siblings.
Yeah, absolutely. And communism is way more violent and oppressive. There's way less freedom, even compared to fascism, which is shocking. But people actually were slightly better off under German rules than they were under, like, the KGB and the Stasi in Germany when they took over.
Yeah, look, the Germans, for the most part, as long as you weren't Jewish or a gypsy, you could go about your life for the most part. Not the communism.
Yeah.
Because how dare you have any thought against the government? Any at all.
Which is pretty terrifying because the Nazis were evil people, but the Soviets were so much worse. And let's not even get started on Mao, because that's more the type of communism that we are seeing here with the struggle sessions. A lot of what we're seeing is straight out of Mao's playbook.
Yeah, this is it's amazing how they've brought about this change in America very fast over the last 10 to 15 years.
Well, it's been building up to this under
Yep.
the surface for a while. It's just becoming more noticeable now, and they can't hide it anymore, largely due to social media and the internet.
And it's also why I wanted to keep these guys on screen. Look at that picture there. How many people under the age of 30 do you see?
Not many, maybe one or two.
Maybe one or two. Maybe the two girls in the middle might be around that. The one, the fatter one on the left there, she's probably 35, 40. The one next to her, the skinnier chick, she might be just hitting 30. These are all older people. These aren't the kids. These are the people teaching the kids.
Yeah.
Whether alumni as the parents of these children or actually as the staff, these kids don't know any better because they haven't been taught to know any better.
And look how many of them are wearing masks.
Yep.
Because they're sheep. These are useful idiots.
Wait, what?
What?
I need to scroll up something I saw in chat.
Oh,
Da-da-da.
this is something sexy. Chat says a lot of awesome stuff.
Communism and fascism are the same thing. That's what the response was to. No, they're not. But communism technically is an economic system. However, the only way to enforce communism is through a authoritarian, dictatorial government with heavily fascist ideas.
Yeah, communism and fascism are both branches of the same socialist tree. They're just minor surface level differences that are just enough to be noticeable if you really look at them and compare them. But they're both murderous as hell, and I won't want to live in either one. But if you had to choose, I don't know, man. It'd be a tough one because you're not going to live very long either way.
Gen Z look older than they actually are because of all the fear mongering they're exposed to. Plus, they try to look ugly these days for attention.
True.
So who knows how? Well, this guy right here, he is at least in his 50s. She's at least 40. He's at least 35, 40.
See what you're pointing at.
Oh, I'm just going from the middle out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The cursor's not on the screen. That's weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah. No, on the far left, the two guys, the one's bald and the other one's pretty close to it.
Yep.
Those guys are definitely in their 40s or 50s.
Well, the guy, the redhead is clearly late 30s at best, and the other guy, I could give him early 30s.
Maybe they look pretty old.
But if you start with the guy with the brown hat in this basic center there,
yeah,
that dude's in his 50s. The black woman next to him, she's easily late 30s, and the black guy next to her also late 30s at best. At best.
I'd say they're both in their 40s.
Yeah, I would too if I was. I'm giving them best case scenarios for them being just young and dumb.
It's kind of hard to tell with the masks on because you can't get a good look at their like facial features, so you can see like crow's feet and other smile lines, that sort of thing.
So anyway, I do blame the kids because they're the ones saying the stupid shit, but I also give them a little bit of a pass because it's what they're taught to think. This is, you got to be just like us or you're a bad person. You should never talk to anybody who has a different opinion because that's hate speech. And can we talk about hate speech for just a minute? I saw a Nuance bro thinking he was smart again. God, that guy's, he's so close to being smart. He's just too young to have a brain. Some Republican came out and said that what's going on campuses is hate speech, which by the modern definition of hate speech, it is.
Yeah, it's Semitic.
But Nuance Bros, it's just Republicans copying the 2018 talking points of calling it hate speech. Well, you do realize just by calling it hate speech, you're doing what the left did with the words hate speech. Calling speech that we find distasteful speech, hate speech, is using their words to reinforce the idea that hate speech is even a fucking thing.
Yep, it's dumb.
Hate
By the way, I
speech.
dropped the link to that video in if anybody actually wants to watch it because we didn't.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're on the AT&T, so I figured a bunch of old people chanting I was okay with not hearing.
You like old people chanting.
I will watch it on my own after the show.
Ranting monkey. Ranting monkey.
Yeah, you're using their talking points, even by saying that the other people are using their talking points. He started his thing with hate speech is free speech. No, hate speech isn't real. What they call hate speech is free speech. But what they call hate speech is actually just distasteful speech at best.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it is an important distinction. It really is. Oh, this is some nonviolent protesting. Hopefully, it's not too choppy. We got some pro-Palestinian peace activists, Jack.
Yeah. They're so open-minded. They're chasing the guy around with a taser. This is what I was warning about, that eventually these guys are going to get violent with the Jews. And here we have a protester going after somebody who's a counter-protester with a taser. They're tasering some guy for saying that they're anti-Semites.
How dare you? How dare you? We had the video the other day we did not get to watch where the all the little Palestinian supporters, they say the words anti-Semite to just shut us up, which is funny because y'all have been doing that for years to people like me, like you're a Nazi and whatever.
Yeah.
But they, in their little video where they're like, we're not actually anti-Semites. We just believe that from the river to the sea, they actually use that in the video. Like the reason they're calling you terrorist supporters is because you're, giving aid and comfort to terrorists, dumbass. No, we just repeat their slogans and dress like them now. Can we talk about how the dress is? I mean, we didn't really see this with Black Lives Matter. We didn't see people suddenly, dressed like Trayvon Martin because or dressing like George Floyd. But in this case, they're actually dressing like the terrorists. I can't be the only one who finds that weird.
Just want to know how many dish towels have gone missing from local stores. Yeah, it's a little weird that they're dressing up, but maybe they're showing their true colors. They really are, for Hamas. Like they should be locked up for it because they're supporting terror group. That kind of involvement. I don't know.
Most wouldn't be able to point out Palestine on a map because it's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not a real country. It's a little...
But they wouldn't be able to point out the Gaza Strip or the West Bank either.
Yeah.
You could show them the river and say the words West Bank, and they wouldn't be able to figure it out. The West is on the left. Which one's my left? Yeah. Anyway.
So one that forms an L.
Unless your hands are turned over. You have for that to work, you have to know which way to hold your hands.
That's true. People are pretty fucking retarded.
I've always been bad at left right. I know what I mean, but when I say them, I'm like, wait, which right that way. And when I was young, they tried teaching me that, hold your hands out and it makes the L. But then I'm like, wait, but which way do I hold my hands? Because if I turn them over, the L's on the other side.
It ran. It's I don't know. People are dumb.
If you're going to give me helpful tips like that, they have to actually be helpful.
Well, you were a little kid. These people are so-called adults.
No, it's still today. I say left when I mean right all the time. I will turn right and say the word left. I just don't. I've never been good at it.
Go left. Your other left.
Okay. Oh, dear God. I'm not reading because I want to be surprised.
Do you?
But yes, because it's one of the videos. Let's see. I count 1, 2, 3 warning signs right off the top. We got a nose ring right there. We got the different colored hair, And we have shaved right above the ear for some fucking reason.
Also, this is dude. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I really can't tell what this is, but it scares me.
I need to hear the voice. Let's hear the voice.
It's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's a dude trying to be a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that is as loud as it goes too.
It's amazing how weird looking a lot of these people are. And then they add all the accoutrements on to make themselves look even freakier.
Is that a chick who's just had too much testosterone and already starting to get the deep voice?
I can't tell. But whatever it is, they are not attractive. They are ugly in either case.
We really need to come up with some kind of science to tell the difference between men and women. If only we had something like that.
If only. But, I mean, first you'd have to nail down exactly what those genders are. And there's so many genders that could be difficult, Monkey. I mean, it's almost like, you know, maybe if one had dangly bits and one had internal bits. But, I mean, you just don't know. There could be some tentacles down there. I mean, what if they are like a lizard person? I don't know.
Cynic says it looks like a nerd caricature. It really does.
Yeah, right. Like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of thing.
But there's some feminine features and some more masculine ones. So it is really hard to tell.
I don't want to know anymore.
You know what makes real quick, you know what really makes me think it's a chick? What? Wearing the watch.
What?
These days it's more typical to see women wearing watches than men.
Oh, that's gross. No, don't let them take that from us.
Anyhow.
Before you go on, thank you, Keldrick. I'm left-handed, which is something that affects my life enough to be noticeable, and I still get my directions wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it gets worse as you get older, buddy. Buckle in.
All right.
Keldrick.
Like we are seeing students take what we've been teaching them and applying it.
That's a chick pretending to be a dude.
I think so. The jawline and the way that they're smiling looks very feminine for some reason.
Yep, and they're doing the weird thing with their voice where they're trying to make it sound deeper, and they've obviously been on the hormones, which also affects that.
Yeah, and then they sound like a robot version of a teenage boy.
I think it's really good that we're seeing these students are taking what we told them to think, and they're actually thinking it. Wow.
They're really applying it to creating Chaz too.
It's bad.
It's sad. You guys are failures. This is what you're teaching them.
So first off, the barricades, right? Like, so like we had to teach them that shit, right?
You had to teach them how to make barricades?
The poorly?
Put a bunch of shit over there so it's in other people's way.
To find some trash and stack it up into a pile. Yeah, that's not creating a barricade. That's just creating a trash pile.
Yeah.
So just to see it being used in that way is chef's kiss. And then the organizing, the community building, the care, just the level.
You know what else it makes me think, woman? Even with the trans women movement thing, you don't see a lot of the trans women getting their nose pierced like this. Maybe they'll do the septum ring, but that little ring on the side of the nose.
That's definitely a female thing.
Yeah. Which is weird because you think trans women would embrace it to prove that they're women.
Yeah, but I guess they go for the septum ring more.
Yeah, they want to have that bull there. They like to have a nice bull.
Now, you know, everything this person is describing right now, you could have learned in Cub Scouts. Just saying.
No,
you would be
Cub Scouts would have taught it better.
Yeah. Yeah, like team building, cooperation, organization, how to build a barricade. Shit, we built a catapult when I was a Weebelo.
Yeah, I just love that, how to build a barricade. A barricade just literally means something in the way.
Yeah, they don't build barricades. You would
they
think
throw trash in the street.
Yeah, you just have trash piles. You don't have like pikes wedged into the earth and tiger traps. No, you have like a pile That's it. It's not even connected usually. You don't create fencing. You didn't bring in a bunch of baling wire and create new fencing or barbed wire. No, you half-assed it. At best, this is pathetic. You taught them this? This is sad. You should be embarrassed.
Woke has been going on for longer than you kids realize. I just got called a kid. We just hadn't called it woke yet. In Rush's day, these were standard libs. No, these, I mean, I've had long rants about this. What we call woke today was started actually back in the 60s. In my day, the 80s and 90s, we called it political correctness. That's the genesis of the modern woke, is the political correct movement of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and the young people today are significantly more radicalized than the people in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yep.
It is so much more clear what they're doing, more obvious and upfront. And I think it's a lot more extreme, because even in the 90s, like the Save the Whales hippies, they just shout a lot. They didn't go creating barricades and trying to have sit-ins like this, like lazy sit-ins, not real ones. I think it's a lot worse than it used to be when we were younger.
Drama. I don't know how you say that. I'm gonna call you you. You says that's 100% more. I've had long diatribes about what modern wokeism is, and it did. They planted this seed, and if you go back to the 80s, it starts with maybe we shouldn't say that. To today, you can't say that. It's been a progression, and there's a lot of people who are just waking up to it now, just seeing it, just understanding that this is what it was.
Yeah.
Some of us have been out there calling it out a long time, and even with that, I'm shocked how quick it happened once the internet came.
Well, it spread it like a virus that it is. Yeah. Back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, they were do-gooders. They're like, oh, we're gonna fix everything. Now these are like militants. They really do want overthrow and revolution because they're stupid enough to believe in the communism.
They don't know why.
No, because it's what
I saw somebody today, and I forget who it was. They said, if you don't believe that these kids really think it's a moral imperative to stand up for Palestine, then you didn't do like I did and go to college and go to a college campus and see a girl being hugged by another girl. They cried over this.
So what? So they're emotional basket cases. We see a lot of that with women.
Does that mean that if they honestly believe that somebody comes and takes their teeth and gives them money, that I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, then that must be, I need to cater to that stupid. People believe in a lot of really stupid shit. And these dumb motherfuckers just 4 years ago didn't give a shit about this. For the last 7 years, the Chinese have been committing a literal genocide, have actual concentration camps where they're going after, wait for it, Muslims, and not one of these motherfuckers has had a single sit-in protest over it.
Why would they want to do that?
Oh, but they really care about the people.
Oh yeah. Well, they care about what they're told to care about.
Exactly. If they were told tomorrow that what they need to be upset about is the moon being made out of cheese, they'd be like, the moon is made out of cheese, and you just don't care enough to think about the cheddar and the moon. Because they're fucking retarded. They are mentally stunted.
I've just been told that's two, Mr. Jack. Sorry, Stargazer.
What did you say?
I don't know. I'm sure it was something about ladies and their inability to retain thoughts.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. AOC cried over a parking lot. Yeah. They cried. That shows they care. It doesn't mean that they should or that their feelings are valid. All it means is they're a little bit emotional.
Must be that time of the month.
Jack, I have trouble caring about other Americans sometimes.
Yeah,
these are. I'm not gonna fucking cry over what happened. The Palestinians got blown up for raping people. Oh my God.
Yeah, and kidnapping.
It got buried, but don't forget, a lot of that raping and kidnapping and murder wasn't Hamas. It was just your regular decent Palestinian living in Gaza.
Yeah, because there's several hostages they can't account for because Hamas didn't take them. Just the regular civilians did.
Those poor people. I'm not doubting that these kids care. I'm saying it's stupid that they do, and that they're only doing it because they were told to, and that there's a clear anti-Jewish bias going on here. Because if it wasn't, they would be pissed off about China.
Yep.
Who does the U.S. do more business with, China or Israel? Anyone? Want to take a guess? Who do we bend over for so they don't destroy our economy? Is it the Jews? Because I don't think so. Not last time I looked at the fucking numbers.
Well,
anyway,
it's impossible to care and not go insane about every single little conflict around the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not possible. Eventually, it becomes so abstract you tune it out because that's how we survive as functional humans. You care more about your immediate surroundings.
I'm just annoyed at the premise that because they care, that matters worth a fuck.
Yeah.
We didn't watch it on here, but we talked about it, and I think we dropped the video. These two girls, like, why are you here protesting? Oh, I don't know. Do you know why we're here? But they cared deeply enough to go to this protest, to go sign, and they went specifically to New York University. They'd been at Columbia. They went over there because they heard they needed help with their protest. Didn't even know what the fuck for. They don't know if New York University actually is invested in any way with Israel. I saw somebody today, Jack, said that we're protesting because they do business with Boeing, who creates the missiles and bullets and planes that are used against Hamas. Boeing's making bullets. Maybe I missed them when I worked in the when I do work over in the sporting goods department. I don't remember seeing Boeing bullets. But they just repeat the stupid shit they've been told because they're Pearl. They're not smart. They're parrots. And they will care about whatever they're told to care about. And yes, it is genuine. They actually care. They just don't fucking know why. And that is dangerous.
Yeah, they're useful idiots.
So I did not mean to go off on that rant, but fuck, that pissed me off.
Understandable. But this person taught how to make barricades. So I guess we should be thankful they're incompetent.
Let's get to our future AIDS victim here. Oops, that might make us need to go to Rumble.
We're late enough of the show. It's probably fine. Most people that hate us won't make it this far.
I hope that both of us looked at the time.
Yeah, kind of how we work around here. But look, monkeypox is making a comeback. So,
of community building and solidarity that we are seeing on these campuses is absolutely, one, inspiring, and two, is so necessary.
It's not necessary, and it shouldn't be inspiring because these fucking idiots do not know why they're pissed off.
No, the only thing these people really understand is a vague notion of solidarity and community. And they don't even really understand what those words mean or even how to apply them to their situation. It's just nebulous, feel-good things like, I'm part of a community. Oh, it's solidarity. They're just
that's some amazing solidarity.
What's that?
The Klan.
Oh, yeah, they did. They had a lot of secrecy, too.
They even dressed alike.
Yeah, they had like a secret code book and everything. Way more effort. Say what you will about the Klan. They put way more effort into their nonsense than what these clowns are doing.
But again, it's not presented in context. Just solidarity can be a great thing. It can also be really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But it's a buzzword. Solidarity.
Well, I mean, when you dress like a circus sideshow, it's kind of hard to take you seriously anyway. And then you have no actual definitions for the words you're using.
Yeah.
And your response when asked about it is, you need to do the work.
Q says solidarity against Jews is inspiring, but Nazis are bad, right? Yeah, the Nazis were pretty much in solidarity as well. They even marched in lockstep. Literally marched in lockstep. All right.
See the levels of empathy, humanity, centering of Palestinian voices, and making sure that Palestine is at the center of everything.
This is a white savior. This is one of our little white girls. We have to amplify the voices of the oppressed. We're here to save them. Hey, white ladies, you don't have to save the world, okay?
No,
saying.
it just feels good that they are saving everybody. Monkey.
God damn. Did they remember back when our parents were kids, they would separate, and actually they did it for us. I don't know if they did it for you. Separate you for some of the boy-girl talk, about your genitals and stuff. Do they whisper to little white girls in those meetings like, you have to save the planet. You are vagina Jesus.
I think they get the vagina Jesus lecture when they try their first cup of pumpkin spice.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's, you have passed the ritual of initiation. You have bled from the sacred. You are the mother being, the savior of mankind. Drink of the pumpkin spice.
White ladies, you don't have to save everybody, all right?
You don't know that. I saw a whole show about a lady with dragons. She had white hair to metaphorize her white skin, and all the brown people lifted her up. And that's how I know white ladies especially, need to save the world. She got a lot of white dudes killed because of her badge.
This is why I love Frosted. Goddamn, he took a bad joke and made it worse. Thank you, Frosted. What's lower, their IQ or their T-cell count?
Oof.
Oof.
That's a gambling question, my friend.
That's a bet I don't take.
It's so good. It's so
fucking
good, y'all.
So fucking
And
good.
if you're not following, supporting, and you are an educator, get on board. Get on board now. These are our students, whether they're in college or they are in high school or middle school or elementary. These are our students, our kids. We are in community with them. Like, we're seeing faculty stand up and be like, no, these are our students. We're standing with them. We don't care what this college has to say.
I don't care what my employer says.
We're doing this. And yes, that's it. That's solidarity. That's us standing together. So continue to stand for Palestine. Go email these universities, tell them to divest and support these students.
Okay. Let's talk divestment for just a second. Let's say a lot of the divestment isn't even directly people supporting Israel. Like I said, the notion is that you support Boeing, and the way they say they support Boeing is by having investments. So these people invest in Boeing, and the college makes money when the Boeing stock does well.
Yeah.
Where are you making up that money, dipshit?
Shut up.
Put it into solar power. Put into wind farms and
you invest in people like immigrants and stuff. They don't know how money works. These people have never had a job. What are you talking about?
Is this going to open for? I've been having problems with the archive site all day.
Oh, just hold off on that one. It's going to be a longer thing anyway.
Okay.
It's one Frosted sent in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been having I was trying to get several articles earlier, and it just wouldn't open for me. I was getting pissed off.
At worst, this one's from Medium, so I had to archive it because I couldn't get it to open otherwise. Because I'm not signing up to their fucking site.
Today's lesson: how to lose $100K per year in one $100K year job in one video. Yeah, these guys don't care. And here again, they don't have to. If you've seen any of the letters that have come out from colleges talking to these kids, all of it is still what they need to do is actually be educators, actually be the adults in the room and go knock this shit off, or we're gonna make you knock it off. And instead they're like, look, could you guys please, pretty please, Stop being mean to the Jews. Okay. We have to respect everybody. We respect you more because Jews suck now. But could you please just stop? Literally, they're going, could you please just stop? You're making it kind of hard for other people to study. Please. They're being run by the same people who are doing the teaching. They're just worried right now that they're going to get fired if they do stupid shit like we've seen, you know, other college administrators do.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to keep it on the down low. They're trying to make it go away, and it's just not gonna.
Columbia did step up and say that they have identified a significant number of the protesters that are students, and they are talking about suspending them. I'll believe it when I see it, but at least that is a step in the right direction to end this nonsense.
But here, I hear what you're saying, and yeah, that would be the right thing to do. But you know what they'll do?
Nothing.
They'll come out and be like, yes, we're going to punish these students. It's not going to actually count on their academic record, though.
Yeah, it'll be like something that goes away after a week.
Yeah.
No, what I would do is, if I was the governor, I'd be like, look, there's terrorist sympathizers afoot. Send in the National Guard. Go full Kent State. Go big or go home. Double down on that shit.
As you said, Monk, they created these protesters for life. Now they're dealing with the monster. Yeah, they didn't expect it to turn the way that it did, because commies never do.
No, because they're short-sighted.
Yep.
They all think they're the pure one, and that's never how it plays out, because somebody like Stalin gets in and your revolution just turned into a massive dictatorship, and all the original people get ice picked in the head.
The weird part about communism is that they are both farsighted and short-sighted. When it comes to long-term goals, they know how to do it, and they're very good at it.
Yeah.
But the long-term consequences, or even in this case, rather short-term, they seem to miss that part of it.
Well, they don't understand people. Because communism doesn't factor in a lot of human elements. It sounds good on paper.
Communism blatantly ignores human behavior.
Yeah, and a lot of communists buy into the communist playbooks, so they aren't able to see the human reaction because it's not in the book. It's not part of any of Marx's writing. It's not in any of the other utopian books that they are told to read. Told to read, rather. Conquest of Bread, Mao's writings. It never factors in that human element that creates chaos and goes rogue immediately. That's why they're always blindsided by that stuff.
All right, before we wrap up for tonight, I do want to talk about, earlier in the show, I had to have you talk so I could answer somebody on Twitter. And I just can't take or miss the opportunity to address this one more fucking time.
Oh, boy.
So somebody puts up a post about the what's their name? The one who shot up the Christian school, the trans chick.
Oh yeah, and the Nashville shooter.
Yeah, and they're not actually trans, you see. And somebody pointed out that we've been screwing up teenagers. This is psychology at work, sociology at work. And a person replied, this applies equally to neurodiversity movement. All this pseudoscience was incubated in online fandoms and lists and memed into academic purchase, dangerously deranged classic psychiatric nosology. I don't know what that last word means. Basically, what they're saying is that people have perverted psychology, which I think there's benefits to psychology. I really do. Especially just the notion of having somebody to talk to bounce ideas off, what we used to call friends.
Yeah.
People would be honest with you when you were being stupid instead of, ride or die. And I pointed out that this is how psychology has always been. And one of my little nut huggers came in and said, this is why you should never be listened to anybody, or nobody should ever listen to you about mental health. Because I pointed out psychology has been used to push a lot of really stupid notions. Unless all you women really do want penises. And I don't mean to play with, I mean your own, because you just really wish you were male. That's Freud. That's the father of psychology. And my little nut hugger jumps in, and nobody should listen to you. And I said, okay, psychology tells us, and this is true, you can look it up. Psychology tells us that little children enjoy being molested. That's a real thing in psychology. His name was Alfred Kinsey. Yep. And he went and asked a whole bunch of pedophiles if the children orgasmed and then published that shit. That's where this shit comes from. That's the modern gender nonsense. That's the birth of it. Is psychology. Psychology, yes, psychology wholeheartedly supported lobotomies. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, lobotomies and eugenics.
But no, you can't question. You can't. Somehow I was sick for pointing it out. Kinsey actually doing it, that's a good guy. Me pointing out that he did it, oh, you can't listen to you. Anyway, never. I one day when I have decent internet working, Jack, we're gonna watch that guy who did the gender, what's it called?
Queer theory.
Queer theory. Thank you.
Yeah.
Queer theory Jeopardy. Because there's ones we haven't even touched on what these fucking assholes, where this shit comes from.
And
again,
quotes them.
This is not to say gay people are all bad or anything. It's the ones who have an agenda. And for those who don't know it, there is actually a queer agenda. It's not even a question. Psychology invented the blue pill, literally. Psychology, like I said, there are good parts to it. The problem is it's not a hard science, and you can't test your results because people are all different. What works on one person isn't going to work on the next. Isn't necessarily going to work on the next. Let me say that properly.
Yeah.
But they come in and they attribute everything to everybody. It's just not how it works. And you can look at just how we behave with each other, Jack, and see that humans are different. And the idea that you can put us all in the same box on a mental level is just insane. It just is. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. As always, thank you so much for the tips and all the support you guys give us. All the people that are dropping links like Stargazer and Brand. You guys are awesome. It really helps out. And One Rebel. You guys are awesome. And we appreciate you coming out night after night to support us and watch the show.
Nobody Not Me says, Kinsey and Money should be remembered as monsters, not heroes of the left. They are still studied in psychology. They're some of the grandfathers of it. And I would go even further. Freud should not be remembered as anything other than a fucking quackpot.
Yeah, that dude was a degenerate. He had a lot of issues.
But we'll talk offline. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out. Jack, a pleasure, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves, and we will see. Oh, no game stream because Monkey's going to go lay down. I still have more stuff to do tomorrow. So game streaming will continue, but it's going to probably be Friday-ish before I get back to it. Sorry, guys. Just it gets pushed to the side when stuff gets pushed to the side. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see y'all later. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I don't know what to sing, so I'm not gonna. Bye now.